We will now hear from Dr. Madeline R. Young-Touré, Advisory Board Member of WiM-Africa. Dr. Young, you may please proceed. Thank you very much. Dr. Madeline, are you with us?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Thank you so much, Candace. Your Excellencies, African traditional authorities, distinguished African and world government leaders, WiM-Africa colleagues, and friends of WiM-Africa, good afternoon. It is an exceptional opportunity to contribute to this significant moment where Africa takes collective steps towards a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable mining future. I would like to wholeheartedly commend WiM-Africa under the leadership of Dr. Comfort Asokoro Ogaji for developing this 5-year action plan. This plan, as we have heard, builds on not only the aspirations of African women and African men in mining, but also on Africa's continental vision, Agenda 2063, the African mining vision and the African continental free trade area, which is very exciting in a time of geopolitical transition around the world that we are now witnessing. And Africa is positioning itself and ourselves to be at the forefront of innovation and transformations in the future with one of the largest youth populations on Earth. So we are in an excellent position right now to capitalize on this. The emphasis on strategic focus areas such as coalition building, advocacy for mining host communities, advocacy for civil society and indigenous communities who are living in traditional lifestyles, and women-led value addition resonates deeply with the global call for sustainability and accountability. Through the 7-point program agenda, WiM-Africa is positioning African women not just as participants, as we have heard from Her Excellency, the First Lady of Mauritania, but also as leaders and innovators that we know that we are, who will redefine value chains, mineral value chains, drive environmental, social, and governance excellence, ESG, and strengthen mining host communities. As we are validating this action plan today, we must recognize that the mining is so much more than an economic engine. It's also a powerful agent of sociocultural and socio-political change, as well as economic change. When we manage mining effectively and equitably, mining can foster greater dignity, rebuild communities, and be a catalyst for transformative social development. However, if the African mining industry footprint is unchecked, unmonitored, and uncontrolled, mining does have a great risk of deepening social and cultural problems on the continent. It can increase inequality among people and fuel conflict, and it can worsen environmental harm. And we know well that women, children, and young people are often paying the highest price. And that is why the WiM-Africa initiative is so essential and so important right now at this point in history. If we increase Africa's mineral sovereignty, Africa's control of the value chain and beneficiation and monitoring and management of mining projects within the continent, increasing economic benefits to the continent for our own natural resources at all levels, not just at the extraction site, also with policy, governance, and investment, we can drive human development across the continent, which is very exciting. Research and experience show very compellingly that African women's leadership, past, present, and future, brings resilient strategies and community investment. It strengthens political inclusion, it improves economic performance, it improves education and human capital development, and it drives local beneficiation as well as advancing regional unity. Women are an engine for development. We are an engine for innovation. And bringing us more and more to the forefront is going to benefit the entire continent and indeed the whole world. If Africa is going to own its own mineral and mining destiny, politically, socially, and economically, then we must put women at the center as agents, as partners, as collaborators, as leaders, architects, and guardians of our resources and of our futures together. So as an academic, I also have to disclose I'm doing my PhD. I'm hoping, God willing, to be finished in 2027. So I'm not yet doctor, so I can't claim that title, unfortunately. Not yet, but God willing, soon. But as an me and the other generations, first, second, third, fourth, 100th generation people of African heritage, it is really positive that we come together to support people on the continent and globally to bring those of us of African heritage back into attention to see these new innovations that WiM-Africa and other organizations are leading. So I want to affirm my full support for this vision. I really hope the action plan is going to be a living framework that continues to evolve with our shared efforts. It's rooted in fact, rooted in data, rooted in science, rooted in lived experience of African civilizations. And I'm really proud to stand with WiM-Africa in ensuring that African women, young people, men, people of all ages are at the center of Africa's sustainable and equitable mining transformation on the continent and for climate preservation, because Africa is also one of the most magnificent landscapes on Earth. So let's help work together to see WiM-Africa's initiative really boost development into the future. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you so much, WiM-Africa.
Thank you very much, Dr. Young, for that insightful and inspiring remarks and academic perspective that enriches our vision. We really appreciate your contribution. All right. Our next speaker is Dr. Priscilla Mbarumun, founder of the Women Environmental Program and advisory board member of WiM-Africa. Dr. Priscilla, the floor is all yours. Okay, Dr. Priscilla, are you in the room with us? Okay, we will now move on to the next speaker.
I think